This is August 8th, 2000. I'm at GR0032, the Waverly Mine. I'm guessing this is probably adit water. There's this little slump right here, little notch that goes on down an old access road here. The main access road in from Forest Service Road 643 comes in just over here to the north. And then up above this in the gully there's a little notch that goes up 100 or more feet. So I'm guessing this is where the adit was. This is where it shows on the topographic map. And I'm guessing that's probably correct. Not really any evidence of it. I don't see any timbers in here or anything like that. Just below this, down through the trees, you can see the blue there. That's some old tarp that was put on the roof of the cabin. The cabin also shows on the topographic map, and I believe we have a little Forest Service sign on the cabin that it's property of the U.S. government, something like that. Now the old reports say that the Waverly was on a patented claim, but it's either been acquired or it really never was patented. Not quite sure which. Get down here in the creek, you can see there's a, looks like an old dam. They had an old dam across here. The stream continues on down. Now this is the only water in the creek here. There is no water above this, so that's why I'm assuming it's probably the adit. And I'll get a sample of this. I would guess there's a good 5, possibly as much as 10 gallons a minute coming out. And I'll go on down here in a minute and we'll look at the little flat wetland below, and then go on out and see, look at the waste dump, which is kind of built out here quite a ways. I would guess it's a couple 100 feet long, although pretty narrow, and maybe about 15-20 feet thick at the most. Anyway, we'll go on down and take a look at that in a minute. Well, before I go down there, when I get down here in this creek bed, looking back up, I see these couple little posts here. So I suspect this little notch actually was the adit. That's completely caved back up in through here. It's filled in with this granitic gross material, and that is the adit water that's coming out. So we'll get a sample of that. No need taking upstream or downstream because there is no upstream water here. So we'll go on down and take a look at the waste dump, and there was an old mill here, and there's not much remaining, but we'll get a look at what was there, what is here. Oh, this is looking back to the southeast up kind of the little stream of water coming from the adit. You can see there's a little grassy wetland here. And then the cabin with the blue tarp on is right up there. And then there's another structure that's collapsed right across be on the north side of the stream here as well. Don't know what that was. It's pretty well dilapidated. I don't think this is really part of the waste dump. My guess is that the mouth of the adit was probably somewhere just below or near below the cabin there. And while some of this may be a little bit of waste material, most of it appears to have been taken out. Let's see if I can get down here. It's been disrupted pretty good through here. I guess I'm not going to be able to really see too much, but beginning about where these rocks stop right here, and extending all along the road, and right through there you can see a little bit of it. Appears like there's about a 10-foot wide strip of material that looks like it has probably come from the adit and been built out, and it extends out there for a couple 100 feet. My guess is most of that is waste rock. This material here may be in part waste rock. And then just down over from this little pile where the water trickles down over, you can see what's left of the old mill. Maybe I can get around the point here and get a little better shot of it. But you can see some of the equipment, some of the stuff that they had in it. Don't really see a stamp. I'm not sure if that big thing there is a stamp. This might have been some sort of a roller or a Huntington type mill. And I'll go around just this little tree here and see if I can get a better shot. I'm not sure this is going to really show us too much more, but I'll just come on down and take a look. You can see an old boiler there on the other side. And it does look like that was probably the crusher right there. And some sort of a drive wheel there. A lot of old, looks like cedar planks piled up down below it here. And this is what I think is the waste dump. Extends on out here past the mill. It's pretty well overgrown. I guess we're not really going to be able to see it, but see the truck's parked up there, and that's on the access road that comes down here. So the access road kind of comes right along the top of this waste dump and then extends on out. It's been modified a little bit. It looks like part has been removed. But basically that's about what's here at the Waverly. Quite a bit of water coming out of that adit, so it looks pretty good. A little bit of iron staining, but the conductivity was only 40, so there's not too much in it. pH was running around 7.5. Couple little additions here to the Waverly. Just above the mill, that is the mill that I was looking at before. Just to the north of it, see a lot of tin cans here. There's an old garbage pit here. You can see somebody's recently been digging here. And this is probably at the site of an old outhouse. You can see the old two-seater. Then also, this was the what I really think is mostly the waste dump. Comes on out here, extends down along the road. I think this is 643H, I believe is what it shows on the map. It curves around along the road and goes out here about another 100 feet from where I am, and then there's a little notch taken out of it. And but otherwise that's pretty much about it. It extends down to the creek here, but the creek really isn't eroding it very much. And this is pretty much all granite, so I don't really see much point in taking a dump sample here. The water should tell us if there's any problem coming out of the adit. Don't see any mill tailings. I don't know what they did with the crushed material, since it is sitting right down in the bottom of the creek. Well, I'm pretty sure where it all went. So don't believe there's any tailings to sample. I'll kind of check as I go on down the creek here, but don't really see anything.